Oh, speaking of catching fish, Mitchell.
Oh my gosh, you got one?
Speaking of catching fish, look at that. Look at that. Grab them. I'll scoop them up. I'll scoop them up. Oh yeah. Northwoods walleye right there on the jig bite. We'll take it. Let's let it go. Well, we finally got a fish on here. What do we got? Oh, not too bad, Mitchell. Not too bad. Why did that fish just literally not fight?
I don't know.
Did you see that? Yeah, I'll just grab him. I'll just grab him. Well, number one on the board. Look at that beautiful guy. We got live bait and... Oh! No, you had a bite. We ignited the school. But I guess one bite on the blade bait so far and one bite on the jig minnow. Did he pop it? Well, that's a good sign at least. It was probably like our 5th or 6th cast of the morning here, but there we go. Nice early fall walleye on the Acme V-Rod. If you are watching this video and you're like, man, I'm going to do a bunch of fall walleye fishing, you are going to want to get some Acme V-Rods.
Actually, hold on, let me buy some before you put an order in, so I have some.
All right, I'll give Mitchell one day before this video airs to buy some V-Rods, because that bait is just going to be a killer this fall. Anytime the water is cold, blade baits just really come into play. It is no different in this early fall time frame. I'm fishing the straight gold, which I don't know if this is actually for sale yet on the website or not. This is a great color. Goby's a great color. Those muddy brown colors are always a good one, and a lot of this clear water. So we'll fire away and hopefully catch another one. Fish? I got one going too. I'm just gonna let him eat it for a second.
I didn't let it take it long enough.
Oh!
Oh yeah, see the teeth marks?
Look at that. We both had bites there. Both had bites there for a second, Mitchell. This might be decent fish. My first jig and sucker walleye of the season right there. And there we go. That is a sign. It is officially fall, and I'm liking it. There we go.
What a monster.
Not quite, as big as I was really hoping he'd be, but did get a respectable walleye. That is just fishing an 3/8 ounce Pendu jig. There we go. Nice eater walleye right there. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful sight. Let's let that guy go and get another one. I love jig bites, and fall is jig bite season. Anytime I can pick up a 7.3 medium light Elliott rod with a jig on it and pitch it around all day, I'm a happy camper. Are you a happy camper, Mitchell?
Yep.
You are a happy camper. Mitchell actually caught a smallmouth off camera.
Yeah, he lost about 16 walleyes.
Ever since I caught that first fish on a blade bait, I have not had another bite. Went to a jig and minnow, made 2 casts, and I've had 2 bites so far. So maybe we're onto something here. We'll see. And we're just pitching around. Kind of your average sized walleye sucker. Bite. Just rock. Oh, that had to have been a bite. Oh yeah, bite,
Fish,
Mitchell.
fish.
Oh man, my hand slipped off the reel.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Oh, we were hooked up on another one. We had to do a little bit of driving around there, because we just weren't really seeing what we're liking. This is kind of the start of this, progression of fish like we talked about. And here we go, another nice eater. And I think today we're just dealing with a lot of this post-frontal kind of stuff going on, where we're just catching small fish. And this will stabilize out and be totally different. And that is like the skinniest 15-incher I've ever seen in my life. You got a cookie cutter same fish?
Yeah, probably.
All right, but the good news is here, Mitchell, we're setting the hook now. You know, we got water temps in the 66 degrees right here. And this is just like the absolute start of this. And I'm sure if it wasn't a little better than mine. Nice, attaboy, attaboy. Mitchell's finally got his first walleye of the gosh darn day on. Should I net him for you? Should I be a cordial gentleman and net him for you?
I lost about 25.
Oh, I thought you were going to lose this one too.
I thought so too.
Right there. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Look at that. 2 casts on this spot, 2 fish.
Beautiful.
Can't complain about that. And like I said, we were rigging just sucker minnows on a jig head. And it's not like the most glamorous, super fun way to fish, but I absolutely love any time I can put a jig on and catch fish.
Well, we know we could catch fish doing a certain thing today.
Yeah, so like this lake had a really good trolling pattern going. I'm sure you could come out and still do that because fish are like halfway here, halfway there.
Definitely good, but this is fun. Solid fish too. Gosh.
Nice. Good work, good work, good work. Getting it done. Back out we go. All right, you know, out here when we're looking at a lot of this deeper stuff, what we're looking for is a lot of spots and screenshots that'll look something like this right here. Now imagine you're a big piece of structure that dumps out into the basin. Now this late or this early fall time frame, what you see is a lot of those spots where you're catching fish on the summer might be like, you know, 25 foot, you know, real hard bottom, kind of crown of a rock reef, things like that. This time of year, what you start seeing a lot are these spots that just kind of dead end out into the basin. And by that I mean you might have this big spot where there's kind of 2 tails on it that are, you know, 23, 24 on top, and then they just kind of hit 27, then just kind of flattens out into mud. That's where we're looking today. A lot of these dead end, just hard bottom spots that just fizzle out into soft bottom areas. And that's what we're seeing. You know, we're looking for a lot of screenshots that look something like this right here. And sometimes what you might see is there's not a lot of like really big clusters of fish that you're going to see. It might be more like fish here, fish here, fish here, fish here. But, you know, we're doing a bunch of loop-de-loops in these areas and kind of making sure there's enough fish where when we start fan casting, we're always around them. And, you know, sometimes you might see a kind of that classic really big pot of fish, but a lot of times we're just kind of looking for a lot of these areas that have a lot of fish in, but maybe not like 2 big tight clusters on a sweet spot. A lot of times this type of fishing is not really oriented around a sweet spot as much as it is just kind of these small areas. So kind of keep that in mind. Boat positioning when you're doing this, incredibly important whenever you're, you know, if you're up in shallow water jig fishing, you can tie in a 1/4 ounce jig and sling it any different direction and catch fish up in 8 feet of water, right? And then when you're fishing a lot deeper like this, boat control, very, very important. So what I'm doing, I'm finding these fish, I'm dropping those waypoints. Generally what I'll do is I'll get downwind, I'll come back into the wind with my Minn Kota already down. Now I'll run over those fish I'll run over those fish, maybe pod here, and I'm kind of moving like this. Then the second I get past those fish, spot lock with the trolling motor. I want to be very specific. You know, when you're fishing deeper water, it just naturally takes more time to work those fish. And your line angle is, you know, even like going to be like that. So I don't like to keep the fish right under me. I like to keep the fish behind me because then you get the jig moving. Both, you know, as you jig it, it's going to be moving up and down, but it's also going to be moving linear as you work the jig back to the boat. Generally, that's more productive than just going straight vertical on those fish. So boat control, very important. Making sure you're in these fish and on them is very important. And that's kind of the keys to success for a lot of this fall jig bite stuff.
Took a dude out guiding the other day. Super
I got one. Oh man, I jigged with him on for a second.
Just like I did.
Hooked. All right, now we're getting them like every cast. This is what we want. Mitchell's getting the bigger ones on. I'm just getting the smaller ones now.
Typical, pretty typical.
Oh, pretty typical. Comes the guy who's caught 1 walleye to my 5 so far.
Hey, I've caught hundreds.
Oh, the guy's caught.
Out here this year.
Whoa. You think you're in some elite category here because you've caught hundreds, if not thousands, out here?
Oh, that's a good.
Look at that, another eater. You know, if you're keeping them, that'd be the one. But very, very important to be letting fish go in today's day and age. You know what I'm saying?
Not stress that enough.
Oh.
You got a bite?
Just got picked up. Right there. Fish on. Oh man. Jigging fall walleyes. Man, does it feel good. I know these aren't like all really big fish. Yeah, Mitchell, net it for me. Net it for me. There we go. We're just grinding away on the old eater pattern here. But it feels good, I'm not gonna lie. Catching them on the jig stick. Trolling is a super productive way to catch fish and deadly effective all summer long, but it feels good to have a jig rod back in the hand and jigging some of these guys again. bite. We got a bite. We got a bite. Ooh, Mitchell, fish on. I don't know. It's not a dink. It's not a dink of all dinks. You guys want to see an insano screenshot of this pot of fish we're fishing? Well, here it is. This is
I'm not getting
this is what it looks like, and you can tell by the amount of fish we're catching that they aren't all biting, or this would just be like a lights out situation. Beautiful fall walleye on the jig stick. I have no complaints. This isn't insanely good fishing or anything like that, but like I said, it's good to see it's kind of happening. Oh. Warms my soul to see you do that. Oh man, sometimes you'll get these ones that'll just pick it up and it's just like this dog and a bone kind of weight on there, which is when it's super, super important to have a high quality rod. And you can tell that kind of stuff. I just had one touch it and spit.
This actually might be a decent fish.
You want me to net it for you?
We'll see.
Jig bite. It shouldn't really come off once you got them stuck. Staying deep though. We'll scoop them up for you. I like it. Here comes big bass, right?
Whoa,
here comes a big smallmouth.
That would be my lock.
Nice walleye. I think I'm
quite the fight for his size.
I think I'm getting a bite right now.
Oh, alright.
Oh no, he dropped it.
No bite?
Man, this pot of fish, we'll throw up another screenshot right here. You gotta kind of work them, but we're getting a lot of bites here, a lot of actions.
Old Tommy Boy is a pro at catching the 14 inchers, and I'm just catching only about 2 of the 20s,
It's a nice fish though.
It's a nice fish.
Take them like that.
Let them go. Let those fish go.
Take them like that all day long. And we are catching some fish now. It feels amazing. The same success. In a week you might be able to. They start locking down the bottom. Oh, he's got one on. This time of year, this early fall time frame, there's very few things you can do, and really for the remainder of fall, as effective as a jig and a minnow, and that's what we're doing today. It's this early fall time frame, and from now until the lake freezes over, this is going to be an absolute staple right here. Jig and a walleye sucker. Jig, is it a small one, Mitchell, or what do you got? Jig and a walleye sucker, jig and a big fathead, jig and a creek chub, jig and generally a larger minnow is what you want to have on. In the spring we'll use a lot of like your standard fathead style stuff. This time of year, Mitchell's got a nice walleye there. We're jigging some of these deeper transition areas in the early fall. Now later in the fall, a lot of these fish might slide really shallow, but really no matter where you're fishing, deep or shallow, once you start getting water temperature 60 degrees and under for sure, that presentation right there, Mitchell's got a nice walleye right there showcasing that, is an absolute staple. You can fish the jig obviously vertical, you can cast it. Generally, it seems like you have more success fishing a jig when you're casting it, when you have both vertical and linear movement. So when you're jigging it vertical, you just have that vertical movement up and down. It adds another dimension to that presentation when you have that linear movement. So, what we're doing is, if we're fishing real shallow, like less than 10 feet, I might go straight 1/8 ounce real late in the fall when I want that real slow fall. And if I'm fishing deeper, this time of year in that 15 plus foot range, I go 3/8 or 1/2 ounce. If I'm fishing, kind of that intermediate depth, I might go 1/4 ounce. And there's a lot more to jig fishing than meets the eye. So basically what you want to do when you get out there, all the way down to bottom right away. Now the key is, a lot of people might do something that looks like this when they're jig fishing. That's not jig fishing. What you really want to do is keep a tight line the whole time. So I'm going to do is pop this jig up about 1 foot, keep my line tight till it hits bottom. Pop that jig up, let it hit bottom, keeping a tight line the whole time. When you keep a tight line the whole time, what's going to happen is that jig's going to be falling. You're going to feel that line go dunk, and that's going to be a fish biting. So, this early fall time frame, really all the way into the late fall, you cannot forget, you can't go anywhere really without the jig and the minnow combination. Absolutely deadly way to fish, and it's been working for millions of years, right, Mitchell? So early fall time frame, really no matter where you are, jig and minnow, super productive way to catch fish. Oh, speaking of catching fish, Mitchell.
Oh my gosh, you got one?
Speaking of catching fish, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Another nice walleye right there. Oh man, what a fun little outing this has turned into. You know, I was a little skeptical right away that we weren't going to get on exactly what we wanted to get on. This isn't going to be probably my nicer fish of the day here. Man, it's like every cast we're just getting them now. I'll just go ahead and grab them. I'll scoop them up. Oh yeah, you know, just fish after fish right now. And fall's here. What else is there really to say? Jig bites are back in style. Look at that guy, just pounded that 3/8 ounce Pendu jig. And you can't beat it. Beautiful Northwoods walleye right there on the jig bite. We'll take it. Let's let him go.
I don't like speaking on camera.
You don't like talking on camera?
I just don't. I don't have anything good to say.
Nothing good to say ever.
Nothing good to say. You always say rattle things off so fast.
All right, well, I'll crush the outro.
Go ahead. You do it all yourself, buddy.
What is going on, guys? This is the outro of this video. Welcome to the outro. We're wrapping things up. Very productive couple hours out here. 1 hour or a little bit of time was spent on spot number 1, which had some fish on it. Then an hour was spent driving around, and then probably 45 minutes was spent on this spot, just wailing on them. And we're absolutely going to leave them biting here. No need to catch more than we have to for a video, right?
I lost a bunch of fish. I will say, when you coming out and do this, very important, the rod selection that you choose to come and fish, because you will lose a lot of fish if you don't feel the bite.
It's not like spring jig fishing where you get that bite in shallow water. That's so boom. It's so hard and aggressive out here. It's a lot more, when you're in deeper depths of water, a lot softer and things like that. So rigging up correctly, spot locking, boat positioning, all those things very important when you're out here this time of year. So appreciate you guys watching this video. This is just the first of many fall walleye fishing videos to come. I think we're about to maybe leave here the next couple days and go do something on the road, which will be probably a lot more fun for us. But I appreciate you guys watching this. If you guys are not yet, please subscribe to this channel. Helps me out a lot when you guys like, comment, and subscribe on these videos, and hopefully I help you guys out a lot by giving you guys a lot of hardcore quality walleye fishing content. But I appreciate you guys watching. If you guys are not yet, please subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. We'll see you next time. What do you got to say?
We have something very exciting that we're working on.
Don't tease it too much.
Super exciting.
We do have a big exciting thing coming, but you guys are gonna have to wait on that. Just keep it in the back of your memory that there's big things coming. Even when I'm not posting videos, I'm still out here working for you guys for stuff down the road. So yeah, now it's awkward. Now we got to do. If you guys aren't yet, please subscribe. Stay tuned for more content, and we'll see you next time.